Justice Julia Semambo Sebutinde recently returned home to preside over an event by New Faces, New Voices, an African initiative for which she is the patron. The initiative was started by Gracia Machel, wife of the late Nelson Mandela.
She had in mind the unprivileged African girl. If we do not embrace them now and pick them up and put them together, what will our future tomorrow look like?
The initiative runs a vocational training center in Chebando, Kampala, where the girls acquire skills. Now working with the International Court of Justice in the Netherlands, Justice Sebutinde thinks Uganda has mixed up its priorities. With a population of mostly young, unemployed people, she feels the country is failing.
We are so imbibed in discussing politics, who's occupying which position. And I think this is where we differ between us and the next developing country that is serious about what are these people doing.
In her opinion, Uganda is sitting on a ticking time bomb since more attention is given to the comfort of leaders than the policies to address the country's critical shortfalls.
These youths that we churn out in our universities, in our training institutions, that have nowhere to go. Our education system is such that it's trained them to pass exams and nothing else.
She also faults the local media for giving little attention to the issues she says are central to national development.
It's mainly who was chased, which rally was busted by police, who got tear gas in their eyes, and who cares? This is not what's most important. What's most important is the next generation of leaders, the next generation of Ugandans. Where are we going?
Has our politics matured?
I'm sorry, it has not. In my humble opinion, it has not. I doubt that we really understand what democracy is.
That someone will be voted because they have money or name recognition is a fact. This rattles Justice Sebutinde, who says many voters pick leaders without much regard to their ability to positively change society.
What would you like to be when you grow up? I want to be a member of parliament. Why? Because they get fat salaries. And they can, whenever they want, they can increase their salaries. And nobody says no. What kind of politics, what kind of country is that we're raising?
She doesn't see many role models for the next generation, both at home and in politics.
Sometimes I feel like giving up on the current generation and saying, look, forget them. They're a gone case. Let's look at the upcoming generation, the one after mine. That's our children and their children. And I think we need to start within the family. We've got to return to the rock of society, which is the family.
The judge and her husband, John Sebutinde, have 2 biological children, but the couple has raised many more along the way.
When a child has been trained and values have been imparted to them, it's not easy when they grow up to easily take a bribe, to easily take what's not theirs, to easily use their office as a stepping stone to acquiring wealth illegally.
She says the rising corruption cannot be blamed on individuals because it is a society problem since the leaders are failing to find solutions.
They keep saying that we're doing something, but they actually do nothing. With all due respect, for me, I think that establishing institutions, acts of parliament, etc., is like building a clinic that has no medicine or that has no doctors to manage.
And the parents reneging on their responsibilities,
especially absentee fathers. The husband may be there in the vicinity, but in the home they're absent. They never sit to talk with their children, male or female. They probably don't provide for those children. It's those mothers that are struggling, and these children are watching. These are the values, and it doesn't matter what you say, it's what they see in the home.
Justice Sebutinde says the parents who bring stacks of money home are even worse.
Nobody ever asks where they get these stacks of money. And whatever the children want, the children get. So then you think to yourself, what kind of son is this man bringing up? What kind of values are these parents teaching the children? That money is no object. And you are nobody unless you got these stacks of notes and money.
And the values parents need to instill in their children.
The honor of a job, whatever job it is. The value of sticking in a job and being faithful at your job and learning skills before you move on. There are a lot of kids now that are just looking for the highest paying job, moving from job to job, job to job.
She speaks fondly of some of the female movers of today's society like Aline Kajina, Jennifer Musisi and Irene Muloni.
They have to be straight in a corrupt society. That's not easy. They have to be straight and they have to function.
Perhaps not surprisingly, Justice Sebutinde is passionate about justice.
If I see injustice, it makes me absolutely mad. And probably that's a bit of what drove me through these commissions of inquiry. Because whenever I would see, for instance, I'll give you an example in the police, I'll see a victim come to the police station, report a case, and instead they side with the criminal or the suspect. That would make me crazy. And I will want to see the officers responsible for this sitting in front of me and explain.
She shot to prominence as the chairperson of 2 judicial commissions of inquiry into corruption in the police and Uganda Revenue Authority. It pains her that the recommendations in the police probe were not given due attention. A key proposal was that the force stays small and manageable.
I'm a little concerned about their human rights record, that I can tell you as a lawyer, as a human rights lawyer, and as someone who authoritatively knows that a police force is first and foremost supposed to defend the civilians in the country. This is not a police state by any description.
During the inquiries, she came out as a no-nonsense judge.
But that's me. If I'm focusing on a job, I focus on that job until I get results. That is how I operate.
Justice Sebutinde is the first African female judge at the International Court of Justice. She joined in 2012.
Sometimes I pinch myself and I think, what am I doing here? Do I really belong here? And amongst these legal brains, the top in the world, am I actually sitting here? Am I speaking and are they listening to me? Do I have a contribution to make also? But then, with time, you say to yourself, why not me? Why not me?
She looks forward to returning home to serve.
It depends on how old I am and what the law says about age and so on and so forth. But, I don't intend to come home and just sit.
The recent mysterious murders of young women deeply pains her, even from thousands of miles away. But this was her parting shot to young women.
You are valuable in God's eyes. Do not devalue yourself. And don't barter your life for things of this world.
And the young men?
Let's not try and adopt this get-rich-quickly mentality or get-rich-at-all costs mentality. That's not the way things are supposed to be. That's not the way things are supposed to be. And that's a very dangerous route to take.
Justice Julia Sebutinde feels fulfilled if others learn from her journey and achieve their dreams.
If I can inspire 1, 2, or 3 girls to get on their feet and to become their life's dream, I will have achieved my purpose in life.
Josephine Karunji, NTV.